Welcome everyone to a new ArtNet2Twinkly easy setup video. You'll discover that for setting this up for XLights, ArtNet is no longer the best option. Let's get started. First, I have a clean install in ArtNet2Twinkly where I am logged into the Twinkly servers, which you can tell by that green button. I am logged in because I want the program to be able to work with groups, and I want it to be able to do what I want to do while the devices are offline. So I have offline devices. Despite the scary message you will see soon, it will actually also work when logged out, as long as you do not have any group devices. All right, so as you know, devices show up in the tree view, so you should be able to see that I do not have any channels saved for anything. I'm about to assign channels to everything automatically, and I'm going to do so with a new button in the bulk menu. Remember, this will not care if you are already working with saved channels or not. It will completely overwrite the settings for any device you leave in the tree view for this next step. This means if you want to leave some devices with channels unassigned, say they're for Christmas, you will want to manually remove them with the X, or you will want to just set up the devices you want in the installation while logged in and filter that installation. So the installation filter you would configure here. You'll notice I have 3 of them. I'm on my local setup, but I also have devices in here that I no longer have that are still on my account or that are for Christmas. So let's go ahead and get them out. If I do not remove them, they will end up with channels assigned to them. It's not a lot of them, don't worry. And as a reminder, if it's blue, that means it's new. And I actually want channels on this one. That's a Christmas singing tree. Obviously, you don't want to assign channels to that for Christmas. Snoopy is a yard ornament that has a set of lumations wrapped around it. So we don't want that. Snowflakes obviously are not Halloween, so we will remove those. Okay, what else we got? Spinner's broke. I no longer have that device. I need to remove that from my account, actually. Tree topper, well, that's what it says it is. And then I don't want to assign channels to this particular Pro device. All right, so everything else is correct. So let's go ahead and set it up. The only annoyance you might get out of this is you will be prompted every time it updates a group. It's basically just working top down in the tree view. Incidentally, for people keeping track of such things, you can now help people with other installs from ArtNet2Twinkly by filtering to their installation, as long as they shared it with you. In fact, this second one here is not mine. This belongs to someone else. Originally, it was filtering my name, so if you have this set up, you'll notice this is different now with the number in front of it, because this is what the number it's going to filter with. Okay. All right. So again, this message is the standard "my hands are washed" message. So normally, and additionally, normally group members are saved in the order Twinkly puts them in the group, but this can be overridden to make it alphabetical. And that setting is right here. All right, now that we have all devices saved, let's go to XLights. So here's XLights. As you can see, nothing to see here. Now we auto detect. You'll remember we are not listening in ArtNet2Twinkly, and this is not necessary for DDP detection. It is necessary if you insist on using ArtNet mode, because XLights detects stuff in a certain order, and there's another listener running that would end up blocking it. But I shut that other listener off when you are in ArtNet mode. But anyway, DDP is searched for before Twinkly devices, so it always ends up before them, and then we can just do this. All right. As you can see, we showed up as a Falcon device. Now, why did that happen? Well, that's because, for reasons nobody can understand, a very useful button is disabled unless you have Falcon or Advotech for your device. I picked the device with the most nodes. So there you go. But what we can do, though, is we can rename it after we create it. So let's call it A2T. And then we can change the description. That's fine, but we have to leave Falcon and model in there. And I will show you why in the visualizer in a moment. Okay, so now that we have a connection, we need some models. Okay, so now in ArtNet2Twinkly, we want to start at the top and start exporting our models. What doesn't hurt to test? Export, save, and then repeat as needed. I've already exported 2 and 3, so I'm not going to walk through that with you. So I have Arch 1, Arch 3, and Arches exported. So I'm going to drag that over to the side. Well, that's funny. I'm going to drag it over to the side so we can see the channels. And then let's look in XLights. And then in XLights, let's go ahead and start importing. Same folder, Arch 1, X model, open, import. Of course, you can size this stuff later when you get around to it. Arch 3 model, open. By the way, if anyone's wondering why I have a 1 and a 3 and I don't have a 2, it's because 2 broke and then I replaced it with 3. So they were different devices. And then Arches is actually a Twinkly line with an aftermarket strip on it. So I made 6 Arches out of that one. So there's our 3 devices. I'll show you that rounder. Not a whole lot of nodes per arch, but it's a 24-volt strip. Anyway, so there's our 3 devices. So let's go back into controllers, visualize. Now all I got to do is say Arch 1, boom, Arch 3, boom, boom. And that's all you got to do. Now let's go back in here just to verify. And you will see channels 1 to 270, 271 to 540, 501 to 840. And that group ends at 840. And what does it end in ArtNet2Twinkly? 840. That's all. That's it. So now let's go ahead and create a sequence. So I'm going to say File, New Sequence. Discard that one. Animation. I only have 3 devices, so I'm just going to say Quick Start All Models. And let's put this. Stupid. My mouse is really bad about dragging. It's got a bad button on it. Arch 3. Let's do Rainbow on Arch 1. Actually, Shift and up arrow. Arches. Arch 1, let's put that, and then let's say color wash, maybe. So let's select there so that everything is visible at once. You can see them all doing stuff in the preview. If they're doing that, then you don't need to render, but I'm going to do it anyway. Let's turn on live output. So now we are sending DDP. And you'll notice when I go back into controllers, I didn't, not only did I not have to assign channels to layout, I didn't have to configure any of this. And it's got all three models in the correct in channel. Let's go back to ArtNet2Twinkly and let's turn on the listener and see what happens. Receive. Live output. There is, we have it. Arch 1 is receiving. Arch 3 is doing its thing. And then Arches is doing its thing. Before we move on, there's one setting in the DDP configuration that you must disable. Keep channel numbers. I can't stress this enough. Leave that box unchecked. Why? Because enabling it causes XLights to preserve absolute channel numbers in the DDP stream, which offsets your data and breaks alignment with your Twinkly models. Worse, this behavior is inconsistent across different XLights versions, so there's no reliable way to compensate for it in ArtNet2Twinkly. You'll end up chasing phantom bugs that just don't exist in your layout, just misaligned data. Before I forget to mention it, there is one thing you should be aware of. So I have some groups, right? And you probably do too, like say icicles. Well, you know, some icicles are RGB, some are RGBW, some 250 strings are RGB, some are RGBW. In fact, if you notice my channel ranges, if I had these grouped, I would have this problem. So if I exported all of this as one model, if it was grouped, then XLights would incorrectly assign channels to it because the group models always come through as RGB, and it would have an RGBW device in it, which requires more channels. So what you have to do in that case is, like, say, let's pretend this group here is that. You would have to export, each half separately and import them into XLights, and then set the channels. When I export, I assign to the model whether or not it's RGB or RGBW. And in fact, you saw that earlier when my columns imported, and it took 4,000 channels. That's a 1,000 light device. It's 250 strings on a plus controller. Those are all RGBW. So to reiterate, if you import a group that's mixed, it'll break everything. The channels won't line up in XLights or anything. You need to import that parts of it separately. That is all. This is your new setup video for 2025. I hope it helps, and enjoy your lights. Okay, just kidding. There's actually one more thing I want to show. So what if I want to add another device? Well, my next saved device is columns, so we're going to go ahead and add that to XLights. Layout tool, select a node, export, test. Ooh, wouldn't fit 42. Fixed it. Test again, export. Columns, save. Replace existing model, true. It's saved in my desktop, so let's go into XLights. So in XLights, we're going to go to layout. We're going to add another custom import, and it's going to be columns. If I can find columns. Open. My mouse is ridiculous. All right, so there's columns. Now let's add it to the sequencer. Display elements, columns. Let's close that. Let's give it something also, maybe flames. Now let's go to controllers. Turn off live output so it'll let you do this. Otherwise the buttons are disabled. Visualize, columns, boom. Now it'll say too many nodes. That's okay. We don't care about that because This is problems with an actual Falcon controller, not us. So let's go ahead and save that just by closing it. Now check in layout. And we are now going from 1 to 4840. Double checking in the controller, you can see it now has 4,840 channels. We have not had to configure anything. Now let's go in the sequence, turn on live output, and it should be outputting flames to that model. So let's verify. Close, close, receive, and there you have it. That's all you got to do to add another device, although you will want to turn on streaming to it. By the way, I didn't mention this earlier, but if you start with nothing and you automatically set all channels, you also need to come in here and check this. Otherwise, nothing is going to be streamed to. But again, you can do this all offline and even connect. So let's say I have back fence here. I'm going to go ahead and give it channel 1. And you can see it's offline, right? I need to render in XLights. It's only putting out to the new device. Render. Now everything's getting stuff. Okay. So back fence now has channels, and you can see we can live preview it now. That is a change I just recently made in this release. So let's say 41, this one matches something else. Save. Now we're getting live preview data, even though it is offline. Anyway, this should really help you guys a lot in setting your stuff up. And I hope it gives you a lot less trouble than the old methods. John out.